Hey, Keith, do you know what a hydrogen wave is?
Is that like when you're at the baseball stadium and your fans are standing up?
That'd be a fan wave.
Okay.
Which, by the way, do you know where that fan wave was where it was started?
In Bull Durham?
In Seattle at Husky Stadium. That's
Okay.
where it was. That was where the first fan wave came. Football. So there you go. But no.
It's amazing the things that you learn on this counter show program.
Yeah. So let's get into what a hydrogen wave is and what Hyundai has to do with it. Okay, so Hydrogen Wave. Hydrogen Wave is a global online forum, Keith.
Okay.
Yeah, it was held on September the 7th of this year, just recently. Hyundai Motor Group has set out the vision of the hydrogen business and the substance of hydrogen fuel cells and hydrogen mobility.
Now, that part is not new. We've talked about that before, and you would know that if you were subscribed. So please consider doing that right now. Click the little bell thingy and hit the subscribe button, and heck, leave us a comment. Tell us what you like or don't like. All those are great.
Right. And
give it the little.
Right. And if you want to watch that particular video, it's about Hyundai xcient, which is their hydrogen fuel cell commercial vehicle, commercial truck, which is already in Europe right now as we speak. They've already sold units. I think we put that out I think it was just before Christmas of 2020.
Yeah.
So
if you're doing it by sorting by time, that'll help you narrow it down.
I think that's when it came out. But Keith and I have long had this discussion about what is an alternative to BEVs or all battery electric vehicles as an alternative fuel source, because batteries, as we all know it, they're very volatile, as we now know them. And
if you're a first generation Tesla EV lover or even a Mach-E, this is going to hurt a little bit. You know, it's what we like to call our tough love section of the program.
That's right.
That's probably not going to have the staying power over the next decade that they would lead you to believe that it is in the auto industry right now.
Correct.
Because of what Jay just said, lithium cells are very volatile. They're not really stable. They're difficult. They're always in an angry state. They're always in a state of agitation.
Right.
It's not a great long-term solution for power delivery in automobiles. It's the best we've got right now. But Jay and I have always sort of felt like we're in a transition phase in this era, and we're going to end up with something a little bit more stable, right? Whether that's solid state batteries or whatever.
Solid state, a stable environment to operate in. But not only that, hydrogen vehicles are a lot less impactful on the environment in a negative way. Whereas the batteries, everybody talks about the disposal of them. How do we repurpose the metals that come out of them? And there's been several types of initiatives that have come out in order to, like battery storage farms, like electricity storage farms, right?
Right.
Where they reuse old batteries, battery packs, that are being used in battery electric vehicles, or other types of vehicles or usages. All of those things play into the initiative for a global, cleaner environment, right?
Yeah.
So that's where Hyundai comes in here.
The byproduct of most of these hydrogen engines is just water, in most cases. Now, this is interesting on a lot of levels.
Who are they picking on? Who are they picking on here? Who are they going after?
That company that recorded their truck rolling down a hill.
Yeah. The truck that couldn't?
They're
not
going
the truck
after
that
Nikola.
could?
Well, the low-hanging fruit is Nikola, because Nikola has a semi. They're still in the news saying they're going to deliver.
Right.
Hyundai's already been doing this in hydrogen, like Jay just pointed out moments ago. But the commitment here is, now this is in Europe, I think, right, Jay?
Yes.
All of their commercial vehicles will have a hydrogen-powered option by 2028.
Right.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner, man. Right around the corner.
6 model years from now. Right.
Yeah. It's amazing. And again, how many times have you and I both said, Keith, that albeit right now batteries are a big part of getting over that hump and bridging that gap, that electric vehicles or alternative fuel type vehicles are going to look a lot different in 10 years than they do now. So quit hanging your hat on the battery side or the infrastructure for the grid infrastructure, because all of those things are being taken into consideration. But right now, we need a cleaner vehicle, and the battery technology has advanced so much that it is allowing us to enjoy some of that cleaner air, if you will, for right now at this moment.
Well, and the fact that they're doing this in their commercial line, so by comparison,
huge.
There have been pilot programs in test markets, like in California. I know Honda, I think, worked on a hydrogen powered vehicle. It was a passenger vehicle, and they did a test pilot there. One of the interesting things to me about this being in their commercial fleet is, so as I think of it, first of all, it's in Europe, so it's not as spread out as it is here in the United States, right? So those routes are probably in some cases shorter, but also those routes are going to be very similar daily. Meaning, there's going to be some deviation, but a lot of times these trucks, these long haul trucks, they're going to be driving that same route every day. So the deployment of fuel stations can be more strategic. It doesn't have to be as random. It's
exactly
on those same populated routes, right?
Right. Absolutely. It does that, and plus you can log so many hours of testing with that to prove the product, which is very key to any product working over long term. The best source, we talked about autonomous vehicles. The best way to advance your autonomous technology, you use a platform like this, where it's in a lot more controlled type of environment, and you can log the hours that are required to bridge that gap to make it work, and the machine can learn, because it's all about the machine learning. I still say we're a long way away from autonomy, but we're not as far away from hydrogen fuel cell vehicles becoming more popular than we are autonomy. I think that we're closer to hydrogen fuel cell vehicles than we are autonomy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So another thing that is interesting to me about using a commercial fleet, and I'm not a scientist, okay? I just read. I just read science stuff.
Right.
And the thing that repeatedly comes up when you read from engineers that are actually working in R&D on these types of power delivery systems is that the struggle with hydrogen right now is efficiency. So when they measure, whatever electrical power supply you have, whether that's burning natural gas or it's hydroelectric or solar or whatever, the energy that it takes to produce that kilowatt of electricity, and then you're able to store that in a vehicle's battery, and then the amount of energy that's retained from the time that power went into the battery until the time it was transitioned to the drivetrain, it's pretty efficient on the battery side. Hydrogen has a significant percentage of power loss, and the last I'd read, it was somewhere around 20%-ish, sometimes higher. Right. And that's the challenge in passenger automobiles, is it's not as energy efficient to produce power at the wheel. But it seems like that's less of an issue with larger heavy-duty vehicles. Right. And I'm just... Again, it just sort of seems to fit why they're going after the commercial fleet, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. And again, I think that they have already they've already gone into other markets, and it makes a lot of sense for them to further develop that, because I think Hyundai sees this being a way out of the quagmire, if you will.
Well, on the battery side, you're much more limited in your hauling capacity, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I know Tesla's working on a long haul semi and all that, but from so look at the alternative right now, which is the diesel internal combustion engine. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so those things are known just ridiculously inefficient. I mean, you're getting,
Right.
a gallon of fuel will get you less than 10 miles in most of those semis, right?
Right.
So,
and we know that the ports in which these diesel haulers are going to pick up all these containers, they have started the green
Right.
movement, the initiative as well, to shut down these huge vessels, so that they are not sitting there just idling. And you've gone to more and more no idling zones with these diesel engines. But for years, that's all they did is just sit there and idle and just burn up the fuel. And let's face it, your average long hauler, their warranty, this is how much usage they get. They have a 1 million mile warranty typically on some of these engines. So this is a great market to go after, I think. I think that hydrogen may bring some wear challenges. I'm not real sure yet, because I haven't seen any of the information out there on what it does to wearables. Mm-hmm. I just don't know. But I don't think that the contamination level that's in a diesel engine or a gasoline engine is as high as it would be in this.
Well, and the next logical step from here is this trickles down into their consumer line, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely, it does.
As they make those refinements from where, not from where location, from engine wear.
Right.
From where?
From where, WEAR, folks.
Yeah.
Yes. Where?
They make those refinements, then they're able to introduce it in their smaller engines, their consumer fleet.
That's it. Again, we talked about the performance side of our industry, the racing side of the industry. That technology trickles down to the average everyday consumer's vehicle. This technology, fleets, commercial, it will trickle down into the everyday consumer vehicle. That's just the way it works. So hats off to Hyundai for going after this thing. Their hydrogen vision is pretty cool. I read a closing statement, and I'm gonna leave us on this. Okay, Hyundai said in closing at the Hydrogen Wave Summit, we sincerely want to offer a practical solution for the sustainable development of humanity and our planet. In the meantime, the degree and frequency of environmental disasters is rising fast. Global experts said that we now face code red for humanity. Global operation is crucial and urgent. This may be the last train to a hydrogen society. There's no question that hydrogen is one of the most powerful and pragmatic solutions for overcoming environmental challenges. As a responsible member of the global community, Hyundai Motor Group will strive to advance the hydrogen society. The hydrogen wave has already started to swell, they say. We welcome all of you to this ride and this wave of innovation to the shore of a new energy paradigm. I thought that was pretty cool.
It is, and it sounds like it's either this, meaning hydrogen, as a pathway through, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or Google working on that whole time crystal thing. I mean, one way or the other, right?
Hey, what business are we in? We're in the business to crack nuts, man.
There you go. And if you don't know what we're talking about, that was in a previous segment. Go check that out. Make sure you subscribe, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
See you.